Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. We're diving into some explosive rumors that are swirling around the NFL, particularly involving the New Orleans Saints and the Buffalo Bills. If you've been following the league, you know that the NFC South has been a bit of a mess this season, with the Saints struggling to find consistency. At 2-6, they're far from where they want to be, and their offense has been painfully stagnant, averaging just 19 points per game. Their defense, which used to be a strength, has been leaking points like a sieve, allowing over 30 points per game. The team's current situation is dire enough that whispers are getting louder about some bold moves ahead, and one of the most talked about possibilities is a trade that would shake up the NFL landscape. And no, it's not just idle chatter. It's coming from credible sources, including Adam Schefter, who's been hinting at some major shifts. What's on the table? Well, the Saints are reportedly eyeing a significant trade involving their young wide receiver Chris Olave. Yes, Olave, a player who's quickly established himself as one of the most promising deep threats in the league, could be on his way out. The Saints are said to be contemplating trading Olave in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-round pick in 2027. Sounds like a bold move, right? But it's not just about draft capital, it's also about cap space. The Saints are looking to free up around $13 million in cap space, which they plan to use to bolster their draft prospects, especially their quarterback situation after Derek Carr's recent regression. Carr, who has been inconsistent this season with a QBR of 78.5, has not quite lived up to expectations, and the Saints seem to be preparing for a reboot, especially considering their current roster and draft assets. Now that's where it gets really intriguing for us Bills fans. The Buffalo Bills, with their current standing at 6-2 and leading the AFC East, are watching these developments with keen interest. They have about $15 million in cap space right now, and are in a prime position to capitalize on any shifts that could make their team even stronger. After losing a key piece like Stefon Diggs and dealing with injuries to players like Palmer, who is currently questionable with a knee injury, the Bills are looking to elevate their offensive game, especially in the wide receiver department. And this is where Olave's potential addition becomes a game changer. Olave, for those who might not be fully familiar, is a refined, deep threat who's already amassed impressive career numbers. With around 800 receiving yards and 22 touchdowns so far, he averages 15.6 yards per reception, a stat that speaks volumes about his ability to stretch the field. His PFF grade of 88.3, a high mark indicating elite performance, shows how consistent he's been. In 2025, up to September 15th, Olave had 31 receptions for 452 yards and 5 touchdowns, averaging 2.3 yards per route and maintaining a positive EPA per target at plus 0.43. His yards after catch, or YAC, averaged 6.2, and he's only dropped the ball about 1.9% of the time, pretty remarkable for a player who specializes in deep routes. Over 65% of his contested catches have been successful, and he runs a blazing 4.38 40-yard dash, which makes him one of the fastest receivers in the league. Despite a shoulder injury that limited him to just 5 games in 2025, Olave's impact when healthy has been undeniable. He's an all-pro caliber receiver, especially when running deep routes, evoking comparisons to Tyreek Hill in terms of separation and speed. His ability to create space and get open deep is something the Bills would cherish, especially in a scheme under Joe Brady that emphasizes stretching the field vertically. And what about the Saints' perspective on this? Well, with odds of plus 25-0 to win the Super Bowl, they're clearly not contenders this season. Derek Carr's inconsistency, with a QBR just shy of 80, and their struggles on offense, especially with a porous offensive line allowing nearly 4 sacks per game, have made them look more like a team in rebuild mode rather than a playoff threat. The trade for Olave, in their eyes, could serve as a reset button, similar to the strategy teams like the Bears employed last year by trading veterans for draft picks and rebuilding from scratch. They're reportedly looking at their future, aiming to improve their offensive line and develop a young core for years to come. But for the Bills, this potential move could be nothing short of transformative. Imagine adding Olive as their WR1, a true vertical threat capable of creating mismatches across the field. With Josh Allen's arm and his ability to extend plays, Olive would be a perfect complement. His potential to rack up over 200 yards in the remaining season, combined with his proven ability to score in the red zone, he already has 10 touchdowns this year, would give Buffalo an offensive weapon that defenses would have a hard time containing. The impact isn't just theoretical, it's backed by numbers. A projected increase of plus 18% EPA per pass for Allen, along with a QBR jump to around 93. 2 shows how much of a difference Olive could make. His presence in the red zone would help Buffalo's goal of improving their scoring efficiency, pushing their conversion rate from 39% to around 46%. That's huge in close games and playoff scenarios. Tactically, Olive would help alleviate some pressure on the offensive line, which has been struggling with pressuring defenses and sacks. His speed forces defenses to stretch out, creating more space for James Cook, who's been averaging 4.5 yards per carry. The Bills' offensive scheme under Joe Brady is designed to stretch the field, and Olive's speed and route-running ability would double big plays from around 4.7 per game to nearly 9.4. That's almost double the explosive plays, similar to what DK Metcalf brought to the Seahawks in 2025, adding around 220 extra yards in the air per game. This kind of offensive firepower would make Buffalo a nightmare for defenses and could elevate them to a new level in the playoff race. Defensively, the infusion of this new offensive weapon would also have ripple effects. Teams like the Jets, who are known for their tough defenses, would have to adjust their coverages, opening lanes for players like James Cook to exploit. The Bills' defense, which has been improving lately with the return of key players from injury, would find it easier to force turnovers and create more pressure on opposing offenses. With players like Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones currently out due to injuries, the defense has been tested, but their recent uptick in turnovers, up by 17%, shows that they're adapting well. Adding Olive would give the Bills a balanced attack that keeps defenses honest and forces opponents to pick their poison. Looking ahead to the postseason, the implications are enormous. With Olive on board, the Bills' Super Bowl odds would jump from around plus 600 to plus 250, making them a real contender, especially if their offense continues to click. His 4 postseason touchdowns so far show he's capable of stepping up in big moments, and with such a weapon, Buffalo could be a serious threat to the likes of the Kansas City Chiefs. The projection of wins could rise from 12.5 to around 14, which is a significant boost when you're talking about playoff seeding and home field advantage. And if we're dreaming big, envision Olive in Buffalo as part of a potential dynasty. His speed, combined with Allen's arm and the Bills' aggressive defense, could evoke memories of the Diggs Allen era, but even bigger. A true WR1, a game-changer on the outside, Olive could help Buffalo redefine their offensive identity and lead them to multiple Super Bowl appearances. It's a scenario that, while still hypothetical, feels entirely plausible given the Bills' current trajectory and their aggressive approach to building a championship-caliber team. So fans, this is the kind of news that could reshape the NFL landscape. The Saints are considering a major rebuild, and Buffalo stands ready to pounce on this opportunity if it materializes. Olive's talent, combined with the Bills' current roster and strategic outlook, makes him a perfect fit. The coming weeks will be crucial. Will the Saints make this bold move? Will Buffalo seize the chance to add a true game-breaker? One thing is for sure, the NFL offseason is never boring, and the Bills are at the center of this potential seismic shift. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Olive could be the missing piece that takes this team over the top? Would you trade a first-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-rounder in 2027 for a player like Olive if it means a shot at the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters, not just to us, but to the entire Bills Mafia. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. This season remains full of surprises, And with these rumors swirling, it's shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. Keep your eyes open, Bills fans, because big things are happening, and we're right here with you, ready to cover every twist and turn of this roller coaster ride.